Can a mobile player master CrystalPvP? Arguably the hardest PvP skill in all of Minecraft. And over the next 24 hours, I'm going to do everything I can to master it. Because at the end of this, I'll face a challenge against one of the best CrystalPvP players in the whole of Zeqa. Someone ranked top 10, a master player. So, impossible? Possibly. Or possibly not. This is my combat arc. I have learned CrystalPvP before, but still seem so far from as strong as I want to be. So I'm going to focus on 4 advanced CrystalPvP mechanics. Cause if I'm going to stand any chance of winning, even in my dreams, I need to master them, starting from the basics. The first mechanic was hit crystalling. I loaded into my practice mode and immediately became the greatest CrystalPvP player to ever touch a foe.
Stop the cap.
Call me It's Real Me. Call me Kirby. Nah, matter of fact, call me Ivan T. I'm sorry. Okay, maybe not the greatest, but things were going suspiciously well. The timing felt clean, the placements felt clean, the explosions were landing, everything just felt right. Apart from the occasional lag spikes reminding me that my phone is powered entirely by my hopes and questionable life choices, I was actually doing pretty good. After a few attempts, I started getting more consistent, and naturally that gave me confidence. Possibly too much? Nah. After practicing for a while, I thought, yeah, I've got this. I loaded into Zeqa Crystal FFA, and I was ready to catch bodies after bodies after bodies after bodies on everybody, cause I was cooking in practice, until I got immediately humbled. Apparently nobody informed these players that I was on my training arc. People started running, people were third partying, people were attacking me while I was attacking somebody else. It was chaos. The mechanic that felt so clean in practice suddenly became way harder. I kept missing opportunities, I kept hesitating, and every time I tried forcing it, something went wrong. But slowly I started adapting, and eventually it worked. 1 kill, then the next, then another, 3 successful kills. And honestly, for a mechanic that felt impossible only a little while ago, I'll take that. Now with Hit Crystal mastered, it's time to move on to the next mechanic, safe anchoring. And once again, private practice was doing great. The placements felt natural, the timing felt smooth, and despite a few mistakes here and there, I was learning quickly. At this point, things were going so well I started feeling dangerous, which was unfortunate. Went on Zeqa, first match started, and apparently I had developed a medical condition called safe anchorinosis. Because that's all I was doing. I couldn't do anything else. Every opening, safe anchor. Every opportunity, safe anchor. Every possible decision, safe anchor. It's like I forgot everything else. I forgot how to hit crystal. I forgot that I have a sword. I forgot everything else. The only thing I was doing is safe anchoring. And this was so bad because I was trying to force it so much. I wasn't adapting. I wasn't reading the fight. I wasn't reading my opponent's playstyle. I was just trying to force it. Eventually, I died. After that, I realized my problem. So for the second match, I changed my approach completely. Instead of forcing the mechanic, I'd let the fight decide what I use and be adaptive. And immediately everything felt better. I used fewer safe anchors, but the ones I used actually mattered. The opportunities were cleaner, the execution was cleaner, and this time I won, which taught me one of the biggest lessons of the entire challenge. It's not every game, big boss, not every game that needs safe anchors. Just because I learned a mechanic doesn't mean it's useful in every match. Some matches require me to use one mechanic, and others another. Now, with safe anchors complete, it's time to move on to the next mechanic, suicide anchors. And this mechanic taught me a lesson almost immediately. I guess this video is just about me learning lessons. There are 2 types of suicide anchors. Ones that kill your opponents and ones that kill you. Guess which ones I started with? Anyways, the mechanic itself wasn't difficult. The difficult part was understanding when to use it. However, in practice I was cooking. As soon as I hopped on Zeqa, I became the meal. I was getting cooked because you cook a meal, so I was getting cooked. Get it? I'm sorry. I should stop making bad jokes, bro. In matches, every opportunity looked like a suicide anchor opportunity, which resulted in me helping my opponent kill me. Not exactly ideal. The more I played, the more I realized something. CrystalPvP isn't a checklist. You don't enter a fight and say, now I use a safe anchor, now I use a suicide anchor, now I use a crystal. Everything depends on the situation. Sometimes crystals are correct, sometimes anchors are correct. Sometimes the smartest thing to do is absolutely nothing. Once that mindset clicked, everything changed. Although it was a constant adjustment, I stopped forcing the mechanics. I started looking for opportunities, and when those opportunities appeared, oh boy, your boy cooked. The fights became cleaner, the pressure became stronger, and my confidence kept on growing, in a good way. Then during one match, my opponent fell into a bedrock hole, and suddenly, every neuron in my brain activated. Anchor, 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 anchor. I'm slowly forgetting how to say it, but the consistency was there, the timing was fast, and shortly after, I got the dub. With suicide anchors complete, it's time to move on to the final mechanic before the challenge, ledge dashing. And this one confused me, because unlike the other mechanics, practice wasn't amazing. Don't get me wrong, I could do it, but I was doing it slowly, really slow. Everything felt awkward, and my phone wasn't exactly helping because it had a mood swing or something, I don't know. So by the time I entered the real match, my expectations were pretty low. Then the countdown ended. Immediately before my opponent came, I decided to test it real quick. And boom! For some reason, I was performing it faster in a real match than I was during practice. The movement felt smoother, the execution felt cleaner, everything was so fast. And suddenly I was doing things I hadn't done consistently in practice. The only problem was my opponent was a disengager. That's a polite way of saying he's a runner. So opportunities for ledge dashing were limited. But eventually, the moment arrived. I chained together multiple safe anchors, created pressure, created space, executed the ledge dash, and secured the dub. I was on fire, bro. Not gonna lie. That's gonna end up on TikTok. That boy got clipped. With ledge dashing complete, at this point all 4 mechanics were complete, which meant one thing was left. It's time for the final challenge. This will test if everything I did made me stronger or weaker. For the final challenge, I wasn't just fighting anybody. No, I was fighting a PC player, and not just any PC player. I was fighting one of the best CrystalPvP players on Zeqa, a master ranked player, someone ranked top 10 in the whole of Zeqa, CrystalPvP. And we're playing first to 3. Let's do this. The first match started, and I was so nervous, but I was cooking. I popped him twice. I'm gonna say that again. Twice against one of the best crystal players on the entire server. I popped him twice. I was feeling good and slightly less nervous. I was like, this isn't so bad. I got this. Let me stop being nervous. Then he adjusted, and then I got quick dropped so fast. The second match was different. I locked in. I was focused. All my senses were sharpened. Instead of rushing, I started studying him, watching his habits, his playstyle, his movement, his decisions. I started playing carefully, and almost immediately things improved. Something fascinating started happening. I was actually playing better against him than I had during some of my earlier matches. The problem was, every mistake mattered. Every hesitation mattered. Every tiny mechanical error mattered. Then something happened. His helmet broke. I saw it. He saw it. You guys saw it. Everybody knew what this meant. This is my chance. This can be it. I started believing. I started pushing. I started creating opportunities. Then my helmet broke too. Everything went down the drain, bro. The advantage disappeared, not even 30 seconds later. The fight became even, and I had wasted my totems. I had 1 totem left. Then my boots broke, and the moment I heard that sound, I knew. A few seconds later, I was dead. The score was 0-2. Hopefully, I make an unheard of comeback. The third match was my best performance yet. My confidence was growing, yet again. My mechanics were improving. I knew if I kept on playing the same way, I was going to win. This comeback could actually be possible. Then I made a mistake. A small mistake. And against players at this level, I hope y'all enjoyed. I cringed a lot editing this. I'll try and make the next one better. And shout out to Prodigy, he's dope. Also, please like, it helps a lot. Alright, bye!